and I am so excited to be here with you today because I actually have the honor and the privilege of delivering some information to you that has the potential to totally change your life. And it really is, as you see on your screen, the marketing and compensation plan. And, you know, as we were putting together this presentation, we thought, you know, what was it that was going to inspire people? And so, you know, I put some of the things that inspire me on the screen. And so the images that you're seeing, you know, the fast cars, the tropical paradise, the, you know, the beautiful sunsets, the exotic places, you know, these are things that inspired me to do the work, to stay consistent, to be persistent until I had the life that I wanted for myself and my family. And so really, whatever it is for you, I encourage you as you go through this presentation today to not only take excellent notes, but at the same time to also dream big. Dream bigger than you have before, because this is going to be information that will give you the tools and the inspiration to achieve anything in Herbalife. So let's just get started. There's 3 factors to your success in Herbalife. Number 1 is the products. And I have to tell you, the products are the star of the show. It's the foundation for all of the success that's been achieved in Herbalife. If the products didn't change people's lives, we wouldn't even be talking today after almost 30 years of the company being in business. And so for you, you must take the products as if your financial future depended on it. Now, if you haven't already started taking the products, which I'm sure you know the majority of you have, you're actually going to want to stop this presentation, get back to your mentor, and learn how to effectively take the product to achieve whatever it is that you need to achieve. In other words, if you want to lose weight, gain weight, get more energy, or just maintain a healthy lifestyle, take the products seriously to develop a serious business. You know, my mentor said to me in the very beginning, he said, no love of the product, which of course comes through consumption of the product, no business results. So, having said that, you know, I took the product seriously, and he also said something else. He said, the more you take, the more you'll make. So, the products, first factor to the success of your business. Number 2 is the marketing plan. You know, how it is that we get paid, how it is that this brilliance of a marketing plan actually is one of the key factors to our success. And you learning and understanding the marketing plan, not necessarily all the minute details in the beginning, but the basics, the concepts, the fundamentals of how it is that we get paid and how it is that we move up through the marketing plan is also a critical factor to your success. And then number 3, and this is probably the most critical, is you. And here's what I mean by that. We all have the same products. We all have the same marketing plan. However, what sets a person apart from being successful or not successful is their desire. So their number 1, your desire. How big is your desire? What is it that you came here to achieve? That's the driving force. Number 2, your willingness to learn some new things. Your willingness to be an excellent student. Your willingness to constantly improve yourself. And then number 3, your willingness to work, your willingness to execute the plan, to do it consistently and persistently until you achieve your desired results, whatever those results are that you came to achieve. So you play a critical factor, play a critical part in whether or not your business ends up being successful. Okay, got it? All right, let's keep moving. Now, let's talk about your next position. So you've got your worksheet out there in front of you, and as we go through the different positions, I want you to write in the incomes based on the individual positions in the marketing plan, because as you can see there on your screen, your position determines the pay. So it's kind of like in real estate. You know, in real estate, the 3 most important elements are what? Location, location, location. In Herbalife, it's position, position, position. And so here's the deal. We all do the same basic things. Number 1, we use the products and we teach others how to use the product to get a result. So that's number one. We use the products and we teach others how to use the products effectively. Number two, we create business volume, wholesale and retail business volume. And we're going to be teaching you how we do that. And then number three is we simply teach others 1 and 2. So we all do the same thing. So I thought to myself, if I'm going to be doing the same thing, I might as well get the best pay. So as we go through this, keep that in mind. So as a distributor, you know, the average distributor out there is making anywhere from $0 to $500 a month. Why 0? Many people decide to get an ID number to just be a wholesale customer. You know, if they're going to be taking and loving the product, why not get a discount? It's like going to Costco or Walmart or Sam's Club, any of those places, okay? So, and then $500 a month, you know, maybe they're retailing a little bit to, you know, friends and family, things like that, all right? So that's where you are right now. Now, the next position in the marketing plan, the supervisor position, we're going to be spending a fair amount of time talking about that today. It is the gateway to the marketing plan. It opens up all the other positions in the marketing plan. And supervisors, you know, are making anywhere from $500 to $1,000 a month. All right? So big increase. Then the world team, anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 a month. This is a critical position because this is a position where you're starting to duplicate yourself. We're going to talk more about that later, okay? Then the global expansion team. We abbreviate it as the GET team, the G-E-T team. $2,000 to $5,000 a month. Can you imagine working part-time and still making a couple to $5,000 a month? Because this is life-changing income for many people. And then we've got the millionaire team. And why we call it that is because your business now is generating over $1 million a year in business volume. And as you can see from your screen, they're making anywhere from $4,000 to $15,000 a month. I remember, you know, when we qualified for the millionaire team and we got that big increase, oh my gosh, our lives totally changed. We got a new car. We moved it to a new house. I mean, it was amazing, you guys. And then, of course, the last position we're going to talk about in this particular training, the president's team. You know, and anywhere from $15,000 to $100,000 a month. I couldn't even fathom making $100,000 a month. But there are so many people worldwide making just honestly obscene incomes in Herbalife. I mean, everybody from housewives to truck drivers to doctors to lawyers to engineers to, you know, corporate workers, you name it, I've met them in Herbalife making unbelievable incomes. So here's the thing. You know, right now, your next position is the supervisor position. You're going to see why this position is so important and so valuable to you as we move through this presentation. But here's what you want to do as we exit this part of the presentation. You want to take a look at these different positions. And what I want you to do is I want you to circle the position on your worksheet that's going to give you the income that will deliver the lifestyle that you want. Okay? So circle that position now, because remember, position determines the pay. And so we're going to teach you how to move yourself up through this marketing plan, through these stair steps, as we take you through the learning curve of building your business. Okay? Got that? So circle that position. Here we go. Let's talk now about how it is that we make so much money. How do we get paid? So you've got your worksheet there in front of you. In the lower left-hand corner, you see that first circle. I want you to write in there the word distributor, okay? So you've purchased your Success Business Pack. You're now a distributor. And as you remember from your call with your mentor where you made that commitment to get your Success Business Package, that you now have the opportunity to make a 25% retail profit, which is incredible, you guys. I remember when I was in my career as a jeweler that, you know, to make a 25% profit oftentimes, you know, was a pretty big stretch. And so when I saw the ability to make a 25% profit on a product that people were going to consume over and over and over again, because remember, they don't buy diamonds every single month. They don't buy wedding rings every single month. Hopefully they only buy them once in their lifetime. But if I could move a product, to a waiting audience that would fall in love with that product because of the results that they got, and they would purchase it over and over and over again every month, and I could make 25%, that was a big deal. However, it doesn't end there. So in that next circle up, I want you to write senior consultant. Now, as you can already see, there's two streams of income. Retail, now you jump up to 35 to 42%, already a significant increase. That's anywhere from $35 to $42 on every $100 that goes out the door. And by the way, that's the average, consumption, monthly consumption for retail customers, about $100 a month. And now you're making, instead of $25, anywhere from $35 to $42 every time someone reorders. And also, we've got wholesale profit now of anywhere from 5 to 17%. So imagine you're a senior consultant, and maybe your sister Sue wants to become a distributor just to get a discount or make a little extra money. She moves $100 in product. She's going to make $25 on that $100. You're going to make what? If you're at 42%, you're going to make 17%. If you're at 35%, you're going to make 5%. It's incredible. So now, your income is starting to come in whether you're working or not. I like that. Let's go up, and in that next circle, I want you to write in the words success builder / you see it says QP, but I actually want you to write out qualified producer. Qualified producer. This is a new position Herbalife just added to the marketing plan. They keep doing that, by the way. They keep giving us more and more and more money. I can't believe they do it. But you guys, we're going to show you how valuable these two positions are. So now, again, two streams of income, but now you're at a solid 42% profit. So again, every customer that that purchases about $100 in product, you're going to make $42. That's good money. You might have a job where you make a salary plus a commission. Realtors, some retail positions offer a salary plus commission. There's all kinds of people who make salary plus commission. And you guys, that on the average is anywhere from 3, sometimes 4% up to 1, 6, 10, sometimes 12%. But you guys, 42%, it's unheard of. Okay, and then of course, also we have a wholesale profit now. Again, the difference between you and someone on your team below you, anywhere from 7 to 17%. So the incomes, as you can see, are starting to increase as we move up here in the positions. Now, critical position we're going to talk about now, and it's called the supervisor position. So write that in that square, supervisor, okay? As you're probably already seeing on the screen, there's 7 different income streams. So as my mentors were teaching me this marketing plan and they were rolling out these different incomes, I was getting more and more and more excited. So number 1, retail profit of 50%. So look at this. You have now, just by changing your position, doubled your retail profit. So I was thinking to myself as I was watching this, I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I'm doing the same thing, I'm going to move that same $100 average, to those people who want the product, but I could double my income. Oh my gosh, you guys, I got jacked up just about that. I mean, if you had a job and your boss said to you, listen, you've been doing a great job, we want to keep you around, but we're going to give you a choice. We're going to have you do the exact same thing you've been doing. However, the choice is you can either make $25 or you can make $50. You guys, it doesn't take a CPA or a math whiz to figure that one out. Obviously, you'd want the 50% or the $50 per customer versus the $25. So that was a no-brainer for me. Next, again, wholesale profit, anywhere from 8 to 25%. Now, wholesale, you can make as much as you did as a distributor, and other people are doing the work. I got jacked up about that. Think about this. In your job right now, have you ever trained somebody to do their job? Have you ever on your job shown somebody, hey, you know, you put the stuff on the shelf like this, or you know, you feed the paper in like that, or you move this stuff around. I mean, yeah, I don't know what you do, but whatever it is, if you ever train somebody, now, every time they come to work and do a good job, does the boss give you a little bonus? Probably not. But imagine now, you know, when you start showing people just by what you're doing, just say, hey, this is all I'm doing, and they start going out and doing that same thing, and the company sends you a check, ooh, I like that. Now, this next one, this next stream of income, you guys, this is really exciting. This is where I start getting jacked up, and it's called royalty overrides, okay? Now, this is when the residual income starts to kick in. So what is residual income? Residual income simply is income that continues to come in whether you're working or not. So think about it. You know, I don't know what you do, but if you stopped working, would they continue to pay you? I don't care if you're a doctor, a lawyer, a realtor, an engineer, a factory worker, you know, a clerical worker, an administrative assistant. I don't care what it is that you do. Chances are, if you stop doing what you're doing, your income is going to stop. Well, imagine, and same with me. You know, I was a goldsmith. Every time I made a piece of jewelry, of course I would make money when that piece of jewelry was purchased by one of my customers, but every time they got a compliment, they didn't send me a check. Didn't happen. So when I saw the ability to do a job once and continue to get paid over and over and over again, you know, like a recording artist or a famous author, you guys, they do the job once. They go into the studio one time. Every time someone buys a CD or downloads one of their audios from a, you know, into their MP3 player, they get a check. And I got jacked up. So let's teach you how that works. So in that center square there, just, you know, write in your name. Put you in there. Now here's how it works. Let's say you go out and you introduce Mary to this incredible product and opportunity. Mary gets jacked up. She sees the marketing plan. She becomes a supervisor, just like you. And she goes out and she does $10,000 in business, or 10,000 retail volume points in business. And by the way, you might be thinking that's a big dollar amount, but believe it or not, happens all the time. We've got, I'm going to tell you the story later, but I did $10,000 in business my first 10 days in business. Okay? Happens all the time. So here's what happened. Mary goes out. She does $10,000 in business. Company's going to pay you a royalty override of 5% on everything that Mary does, or said differently, a $500 check. Now, sure, you might be working with Mary, showing her what you're doing and stuff, but how about that? Getting a thank you check in the mail for $500, and Mary did most of the work. I like that idea. Now, Mary says, hey, you know, I want to get some of those royalties. I'm doing this business for myself. So she goes out and she introduces John to these incredible products and the opportunity. And John says, yeah, you know, I get it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to start doing the deal. And John does 20,000 volume points, or 20,000 retail dollars in business. Once again, the company is going to pay you a royalty override of 5% on everything that John does. Or again, said differently, $1,000. This is incredible. Now, of course, they're also going to pay Mary $1,000. Isn't that incredible? But, of course, John says, hey, you know, I understand the marketing plan. I want to earn royalties as well. So John goes out and he introduces Sue to the marketing plan. He introduces Sue to the incredible products, the opportunity. She watches the marketing plan just like you are now. She says, I want to be a supervisor. I want to make all those different streams of income. And Sue, by the way, happens to be a super go-getter. She's got big dreams, big whys. She's got a strong desire. She's got a strong work ethic. She's got a strong willingness to learn and new things. And she really does a deal and goes out and does 30,000 retail dollars in business. You might be thinking, nobody does that. Let me tell you something. My first calendar month in the business, over $43,000 in business. So is it possible? Yeah. We've had many months over $20,000. So once again, the company is going to pay you a royalty override of 5% on on everything that Sue does, or again, said differently, another check for $1,500. You're getting excited? Now, of course, they're going to pay John $1,500. They're going to pay Mary $1,500. So you might be figuring this out, that the royalty overrides, the company's going to pay you the royalty overrides on your first 3 levels of supervisors. Okay? And in this example, it totals up to $3,000. Is that amazing or what? Now, here's something critical that I want you to understand. You went out and you introduced Mary, whether it was, through our advertising campaigns, or maybe it was somebody, who comes into, one of your weight loss challenges. You're going to learn about those, or your nutrition club, you're going to learn about those. There's all kinds of ways that you can be introducing people to this business. But here's the bottom line. You introduced Mary, and Mary ended up, because of her efforts, being, worth $3,000 a month to you. So how many Marys do you need to live the life that you want? Because you see, the way the marketing plan is written, you can introduce as many Marys as you want, and the company is going to pay you 3 levels deep on all of those Johns and Sues as well. You get it? So just remember, if you want your check to go up, just go find Marys. If you want your check to last a long time, show Mary how to find Johns and Sues. It's simple. Isn't that great? So that's the royalties. Now, let's move back over to the 4th stream of income under the supervisor position. And it's called the production bonus. That's right. It keeps getting better, you guys. So the production bonus starts when you reach the global expansion team. Remember, we talked about that in the last slide. The GET, the global expansion team. And then that next position, remember, was the millionaire team, remember, and then the president's team. So let's teach you how the production bonuses pay. So when you reach the GET team, the global expansion team, the company is going to pay you an additional 2% on everything that Mary does. You guys, you got to figure out, that's a 40% increase in pay. When was the last time you got a 40% raise in 1 month? Well, if you were like me, never. And then they're going to pay you an extra 2% on John, an extra 2% on Sue. Now, here's the cool thing about production bonuses. They go to infinity. Remember that the GET team are making anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month, and this bonus doesn't stop at your 3rd level. It goes to infinity. So now let's add this up. Look, you're making 5% plus 2%. That's 7% now on your first 3 levels, and then an additional 2% on the total volume that happens below Sue. You guys, I'm telling you, it's smoking hot. You hit that first, production bonus, you're going to see a big increase in your check. You're going to love it. Now, when you hit the millionaire team, you're going to get an extra 4%. Now you're getting 9% on Mary, 9% on John, 9% on Sue, and that's right. Remember, $4,000 to $15,000 a month when you're in this position. And yes, it also goes to infinity. This is why these incomes are just out of sight. And then when you hit the president's team, oh my gosh, look at this, you guys, an extra 6%. Remember, 15 to 100,000 a month plus to infinity. Guys, that's why, write it down, the average president's team member worldwide is making $60,000 every 30 days. I know, you can't even believe it, but it's true. Unbelievable, you guys. When you hit the president's team, totally life-changing. Okay, so that's how the production bonuses work. Now, let's go to the 5th stream of income, and it's free vacations. And I got to just pause here for a moment. And I've got to tell you, the free vacations, now many people have been on vacations. Your company probably gives you vacation time, okay, that they might even pay for the time that you're away. Maybe you work for a year and you get a week off. But for many, many people, sure, they get a week off, and sure, they get paid, but they can't afford to go anywhere because they're still living paycheck to paycheck, whether they're at work or not. So sometimes they'll even work through their vacation to make a little extra money if the company will let them. But imagine, you guys, not only getting, the time off, but getting paid. We've been to Hawaii many times. We've been to Bali. We've been to Paris. We've been all over the planet. We've been to the Caribbean. We've been on cruises. We qualified for an all-expense-paid cruise our first full year in the business. It was unbelievable. And we came back and our checks were still there, and Herbalife paid for the vacation. So you guys, this is huge. And I'm with your mentor and find out what kind of vacation promotions are going on right now, because as a supervisor, you can qualify. Isn't that great? Okay, number 6. Let's keep going. Worldwide bonus. You guys, this is going to blow your mind. So imagine this, okay? Last year, Herbalife did a little over $4 billion, that's with a B, $4 billion in business, okay? So what the worldwide bonus is this. They take 1% of the worldwide gross sales. So 1% of $4 billion, believe it or not, it's $40 million. And everybody comes together in a high-level training, and they do, I'm telling you, the night that they give the bonuses out, it's like something out of the Academy Awards. I mean, it's lines of limousines. It's tuxedos and sequin gowns. It's diamonds dripping everywhere. And I got to tell you something. Herbalife gives away $40 million. They will give away, I should say, $40 million this year in bonuses. Last year, we were at the awards down in Beverly Hills, and you guys, I got to tell you something. A housewife. Imagine this. How many of you right now are listening, and you're a housewife, or you know a housewife, or you're married to a housewife, or your mom's a you know some housewives, right? Well, let me tell you something. A housewife from Mexico. I mean, you guys, the average income in Mexico is, about $300 a month per capita. A housewife from Mexico got the #1 check for $2 million. You guys, I saw lots and lots of checks for, several $100,000 and over $100,000 and $60,000 and $80,000 and $50,000, and I mean the smallest check I saw was over $10,000. Imagine how many times have you gotten a bonus, from your company for $10,000? Most of us are lucky to get a ham or a turkey. So the worldwide bonus is incredible. And last but not least, the 7th income stream, the President's Council bonus. And this is an additional 0.5 to 1% on your entire organization to infinity. And I got to tell you, when that bonus kicks in, it's worth anywhere from like $15,000 on up to over $100,000 a month. So I know your head's probably spinning a little bit right now. I know when I saw, the potential here, my mind was just going crazy with the opportunity. And so here's what we've done. What we've shown you so far right now is why the supervisor position is so valuable. It doesn't take, again, a CPA to figure it out. 7 income streams versus 2 or 1. Okay? So we've shown you the value of the supervisor position. Now, let's show you how to become a supervisor. So there's 5 basic ways to get there. All right? You want to continue taking notes here. So option number 1, look, you guys, here's what I want you to know. Regardless of your circumstances, it doesn't matter if you've got a great job and money in the bank and fancy cars, and you're just looking to, change your life because you don't have a life because you're working all the time. Maybe you're a corporate executive, or maybe, you're a factory worker, or you're a housewife, or you're driving a truck or a taxi, or you're a realtor and the market's crashed, or whatever it is that you do. I want you to understand this right now, that there is an option for you to get to supervisor. We just showed you why to get there. Now we're going to show you how. So, option 1, you can retail your way there. Maybe you have very limited resources, but you're willing to get out there and do the work. And all this means is, you find an average of 30 to 40 customers in 1 calendar month, and you produce a total of 4,000 volume points in 1 calendar month, and you can be a supervisor. Okay? You ready to do that? You can do that. Option number 2, the 2-month qualification. Okay? All this means is that you produce, you either purchase from the company or through your consecutive orders, 2,500 retail dollars or volume points in 2 consecutive months. And if you do this through a purchase, meaning you're going to purchase this inventory to start your business, the company's going to give you a 42% discount on that order, which obviously translates into a 42% profit on that order. You do that 2 months in a row for a total of 5,000 volume points, and you're also a supervisor. This is a great way for people, where money isn't an issue. Meaning, you've got enough money, why not spread it out over a couple of months? If that's your preference, you can do that. But obviously you can see that it takes an additional 1,000 volume points to do the same thing. Okay, because it's 5,000 instead of 4,000. Now, let's talk about option number 3, the Success Builder option. All right? So all this means is this, is that let's say, you purchase, again, 1,000 volume points at a 42% discount. Okay, company's going to give you a 42% discount. And honestly, this is enough product for like 5 to 7 customers. Think about it. In the town you live, there's probably 5 or 7 people who either need to lose weight, gain weight, get more energy, whatever it is, improve their health. Okay? So you get a little bit of an inventory to start your business. And maybe 3 other people who either need that much product and want to get the 42% discount because they're going to take it anyway, or maybe 3 other people who also want to make a little extra money and they're willing to purchase a little bit of an inventory. They know 5 to 7 people themselves that want to lose weight, gain weight, get more energy, or just improve their health. And so you show 3 other people how to also produce 1,000 volume points or get 1,000 volume points. And you do this in 1 calendar month, I should say the same calendar month. So if you add this up, that's a total of 4,000 volume points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that makes you a supervisor. So draw a little dotted, square around your circle there. That makes you a supervisor, okay? So that's one option. Now, the next one, we call this the buddy system. Let's say, for instance, you do a 1,000 volume point order, and you know somebody, you introduce them to the business and the product, and they see the marketing plan, and they say, oh my gosh, I want to be a supervisor. They purchase a 4,000 volume point inventory, enough product for 30 to 40 customers, and they do that in the same calendar month that you do your 1,000 volume point order, and that makes both of you supervisors, okay? So this is fantastic. So draw a little dotted square around both of you. That makes both of you supervisors. This is really cool, and we call this a buddy system. So you'll notice this is 5,000 points. Maybe you do 2,500 points each. Maybe you split it up, okay? So that's the Success Builder option. Let's show you option number 4. This is really cool, and this is the option that the company just added to the marketing plan, and I got to tell you, this is also going to allow everybody to become a supervisor. So option number 4 says, if you produce 5,000 volume points in anywhere from 3 to 12 months, so let's say your first month, you do a couple of 100 volume points, then you do 500 volume points, then you do 700, and the next month you do 1,200, whatever it is, okay? Even if it's just 500 volume points a month for 10 months, you now are a supervisor. So no money, no problem. If you're willing to go out and help others with the, with the gift of health, you can become a supervisor. I'm telling you, we're going to make supervisors like crazy with this option. Now, option number 5. We call it the traditional way, and this is my favorite option. This was the way that I chose to become a supervisor because you know what? I didn't want to wait. I was one of those people that if I was going to be the guy doing the work, I wanted to get the pay. I wanted to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time, okay? And so, and I also knew that if I was going to start this new business, I was going to need a little bit of inventory. Because if you think about it, if you open a little supermarket or a little fast food mart or a little deli or whatever it is, okay? And you open the doors, and if someone comes in to buy something and your shelves are empty, you're not going to make a profit. And so it was critical that I understood that. And so I was willing to, invest a little bit in my business so that I could get a bigger return, and in turn, have something for my customers when they showed up. Okay? So here's the deal. If you purchase a 4,000 volume point inventory, the company's going to give you a 42% discount, which again turns into a 42% profit. It's going to cost you about $2,300 plus the packaging, handling, shipping, and tax. And that's going to end up to be about $3,000 depending on the tax rate in your area. It might be $2,900, might be $3,200 depending on your tax rate, but somewhere in that neighborhood, okay? And you guys, that automatically qualifies you as a supervisor. And so immediately, right after that, you're at 50%, and you hit the pavement running, and oh my gosh, you got access to all those 7 different income streams, and I'm telling you, that was the way I chose, and I'm telling you, it was the best, smartest, wisest business decision I have ever made. Okay, you're going to hear about that a little bit later on. So, here's what we've shown you so far. Now, let me just go back for a second. So we've shown you now how to become a supervisor. Now, let's move on. So here is a chart. And as you can see, it says choosing an inventory size. All right? And why we wanted to give you this information is so that you can see and you can make some educated decisions on how much profit do you want to make this month. And so here's what you want to look at. You want to look at this column over here. How much do you want to make in this calendar month? Okay? Just make a decision. Most people, all they're going to look at is going to look at the cost. Now, is it important to look at the cost? Yeah. But let me teach you something very, very valuable. Very, very important. And I want to tell you a quick little story. If I drove up in your driveway in a brand new Ferrari, okay, brand new Ferrari, well, let's call it the California. It's a brand new car that they just came out with. It's a couple of $100,000 car. And I said to you, listen, come on out, I want to show you something. And you walked out of your house and you saw this incredible Ferrari and you went, wow, where'd you get that? I said, listen, I just got it. It's incredible. How'd you like to take it around the block? And you said, oh my gosh, I would love to take it around the block. And you do. You get in it and you smell that, that beautiful glove leather interior, that deerskin leather, and you start that thing up and it is pure Italian motor music. And you drive that thing around the block and you come back and your eyes are all bugging out of your head and you got a big old smile on your face. And let me tell you something, whether Ferraris are your deal or not, you obviously understand the value of that vehicle. And then what if I said to you, listen, you could have this Ferrari, here's the keys, for $3,000. What would you do? First of all, you'd be in disbelief. But I'm telling you, I don't care if Ferraris are your deal or not, somehow, some way, you'd figure out a way to get the $3,000. I said, but here's the only catch. You got to get it this month. Trust me, you'd figure out somehow, some way. Even if you sold the Ferrari, could you get $3,000 back for a $200,000 car? Yeah. So you guys, it's never the price. It's always the value. So your job is to decide how much profit would you like to make this month and then figure out how it is to get that inventory. Does that make sense? Okay, great. Let's keep moving. I'm going to teach you a very valuable story here. This is the bank story, as you can see on the screen here. So let's just say you're somebody, who had the money in the bank, okay? They had the $2,300 in the bank, okay? And I don't know, you just do nothing. You just keep the money in the bank. Now, I don't know about you, but in this example, we're saying that the bank's going to pay you 3%. Well, you could possibly find some banks that are going to pay you 3%. But honestly, most of them are paying like 0 to 0.5 to 0.75% right now, because of the economy. But let's be generous and say that you're going to make 3% on your money. Of course, you're going to pay 1% of the interest income in income taxes. Okay? So after a whole year of doing nothing, just keeping your money in the bank, you're going to have a net 2%, or said differently, you're going to make 46 bucks on your money sitting in the bank. Now, is it secure? Well, I guess it depends on your bank. You know, there have been a lot of banks that have failed recently as well. But still, let's say it's secure. Do you get excited about 46 bucks? Well, I don't know about you, but I don't get excited about 46 bucks. Okay? But still, do nothing, you can make 46 bucks. Now, let's look at the other side of the chart here. And notice at the top, we say failure. Now, why do we put failure? You guys, because you know what? There's a chance you could fail in Herbalife. You want to know how? In all of my years of being in Herbalife, the only people that I've seen fail, and this is the truth, I want you to pay attention to this. The only people I've are people who do nothing. So if you treat your Herbalife business like money in the bank, meaning you do nothing, then of course you're going to get nothing. But even if you do nothing, here's the worst thing that I tell people. What's the worst thing that could happen even if you do nothing? Listen, you're going to eat really healthy for several months, and it's going to cost you way less than going to the grocery store. So everybody wins. But let's just take a look at this example. So it's another year later, and you have four customers a month. Remember we talked about the average customer consuming $100 in product a month. So you get 4 customers a month. You know, it's about $400 in retail volume, and you do that for 10 months. You've now got your investment back of about $4,000. Or said differently, you've made 42%, or you've made about $1,700. So I don't know about you, but again, you don't have to be a CPA to figure out that $1,700 is better than 46, right? Okay, good. So I want to give you that. Now, let's talk about something really important. So remember we showed you why the supervisor, we showed you how to supervisor. Now, you guys, I hope this story inspires a sense of urgency in you, why you want to do it now. And I want to tell you a true story. So you can see on this little chart here, and let's talk about this month, and I'm going to tell you the story. You can see Jeff, and Jeff, of course, is the supervisor. He's in the square, and Hiroshi is a distributor. So Jeff, you know, he was a guy who met Hiroshi, and he sponsored Hiroshi as a distributor. Okay, Japanese guy. He was actually an exchange student in America. And Hiroshi got on the product, started getting a great result, started sharing those results with his parents in Japan, his mom and his dad. So, you know, to make a long story short, Hiroshi, in his first month, does about $2,800 or volume points in business. And Jeff, as his sponsor, as his mentor, you know, coaches him. He said, Hiroshi, you know, you've done $2,800 in business. You're only 1,200 volume points away from being a qualified supervisor. You know, let's get the volume done. Somehow, some way, let's get the volume done so that next month you could be a fully qualified supervisor. Now, Hiroshi, he listened to his mentor, and he thought about it. And you guys, what he did is he made a critical decision. And what he did is he said, no, I'm going to wait. And write this down, you guys. My mentors taught me this in the very beginning. They said waiting is not a form of advertising. And so Hiroshi waited. He did not do the volume to qualify himself as a supervisor in that first month. So the next month rolled around. Jeff, of course, still a supervisor, and Hiroshi is still a distributor. Well, here's what happened. Honestly, it's a miracle called the Herbalife products, because his mom and dad got incredible results. I mean, they lost weight. His dad was a diabetic. His blood sugar started going normal. I mean, they just had incredible results. And they started telling everybody about these amazing products. And because of that, there was obviously a tremendous business opportunity. And so, you know, mom and dad became supervisors. And then, as you can see from the story here, they also sponsored 17 more supervisors. Now remember, from the marketing plan, the royalty overrides. Remember, 5%. So because Jeff was a fully qualified supervisor, he was eligible to earn the 5% royalty overrides on all of that volume that Mom and Dad produced in Japan. He didn't even know them. He didn't speak Japanese, but the company sent him a check, as you can see, for $8,500. Now, how much of that did Hiroshi get? Sadly, none of it, because he wasn't a supervisor. And so here's the moral of the story, you guys. You and your mentors, you're going to start working your business no matter what. So I would encourage you, no matter what, this month, somehow, some way, figure out how to get to that supervisor position so that next month, as you're getting customers, as you're getting distributors, as you're getting supervisors on your team, you are in a position to get paid for your efforts. That's all it is. And hopefully that makes sense. Okay? So let's keep moving. So now what I want to do is I want to talk about 3 critical things. So first we showed you why to become a supervisor. The value of the supervisor position is obvious. Then we showed you how to become a supervisor. Now, hopefully we've inspired you. Why to become a supervisor now, this month. So if you're in a position to do that, do it. If you're not, no problem. But your job now is to choose which way is best for you. Okay? Your job is to choose. Is it going to be the retail in 1 month method? Is it going to be the 2,500 volume points 2 months in a row at 42% off? Is it going to be number 3, do the success booker order, 5 to 7 customers, find some buddies or one buddy? Is it going to be the 5,000 volume points, option number 4 in 3 to 12 months? Smoking hot way to do it. Or is it going to be, in my opinion, the best way is to just figure out how to get it done this month, the traditional way. Get a 4,000 volume point order done this month and work with your mentors. And by the way, the average supervisor takes anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks to move that inventory. For me, as you'll hear, it was about 10 days. For others, 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. It's not a long time to get such a huge benefit. So your job right now is to choose which way is best for you. Okay? So here's the important thing. The important thing is not so much how to get to supervisor. What's important is that you get there. You must understand this. For you to gain maximum benefit, just choose one of the ways to get there. Draw the line in the sand. Get with your mentors. Tell them, I'm a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And make the decision and get to work, get the job done. Does that make sense? Okay, good. All right, so now, here's what I want to do. I want to introduce you to some people. And the first young lady I want to introduce you to, she is just absolutely incredible. Her name is Andrea, and you guys, she has just produced such an incredible result. And I want you to hear from some people who, from many different circumstances, many different walks of life, took that chance and they made that investment in themselves and in their businesses, and what the rewards were that came out of that. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you first to International 15K Presidents Team member, Miss Andrea Villegas and Shanahan.
Hi, this is Andrea Villegas Shanahan, International 15K Presidents Team, and I am so excited to be on this call with you today. And let me just start by first saying welcome to the team. We're so excited about this journey that you're embarking on. And, I got to tell you, it wasn't that long ago for me, almost 7 years ago, that I, too, made that bold decision like yourself to get started in my own business, and found myself on a call like the one you're on today with your mentor, making some important decisions about my future. And I remember just a couple things. One, that I was totally excited and I was scared. I was totally excited about the promise of the future, and I was scared because I wanted so bad to get to that supervisor position that I saw in the marketing plan. And the reason I wanted to get to the supervisor position is because I could clearly see that 50% was going to be a lot more beneficial to me than 25%. And honestly, I got very excited about the opportunity to build and create residual income. And I think back to my background before Herbalife. I'd actually worked for other people for 18 years, corporate America for the last 6 years. Never thought I'd have a business of my own. And then here I was having an opportunity to start my own business. And so as a result, I was excited, but also a little scared. And I want you to know that if you're feeling that way, it's totally normal. It's no problem. You know, many of us have felt that way when we were first making some important decisions. But what I can tell you is that based on what I wanted, I made the decision to go ahead and get started as a supervisor. And I actually used a credit card, which I had never done anything like that before. My husband thought I was crazy. Crazy, he said. But thank goodness that I made that choice, because as a result, I ended up losing, I got great results on the products. I lost 60 pounds in 4.5 months, and I made $500 my first month, $2,700 for my second month. I actually moved my entire supervisor order in just 8 weeks. By the end of the first year, I was making an extra $6,000 a month. I was no longer having to work for other people, so I was getting a chance to be at home with my daughter. No longer long commutes and daycare. That was incredible. And then by the end of the second year, as a result of getting started at that supervisor position and working hard and closely with my mentor, I was making an extra $10,000 a month. Can you imagine? It was unbelievable. And as a result of that, my husband, who thought I was crazy when I first got started, of course, he was pretty excited, not only with my product results, but our income results. He was able to resign from his job and join me in the business. And we've been working the business from home together around our family ever since. And it has been nothing short of amazing. And, you know, I wish I could tell you it was just me, but I'm really just a product of the system, of the marketing plan, of the incredible tools that we have. And there are other people just like me and just like you who were looking for an opportunity and took that bold step to take full advantage of the marketing plan and also got started as a supervisor. And so to share with you, let me pass that call over to Christopher. Christopher, are you there?
I am, Andrea, and you know, listening to your story really brings back some memories for me. You know, prior to coming to Herbalife, I was an artist by trade. I was a goldsmith and a jewelry designer, and I was doing that for literally 25 years, 20 of them out in the state of Hawaii, in the city of Honolulu to be exact. And I loved what I did. I was really good at it, made an excellent living until the economy died back in the 90s, the last time. It does that once in a while. And I found myself in a very difficult situation, literally with half the income, but of course the same number of bills. And gosh, you know, that was so scary at that time, especially living in a very expensive city like Honolulu. And, you know, I got introduced to this business through some people I knew, and I did some homework, and I really felt like it was something that I wanted to give my best shot at. And mostly because I was going to have some successful people guiding me every step of the way. And, you know, I got started on April 15th, tax day 1997. I got on the product right away. I got an incredible result, just tremendous energy. A chronic cough that I'd had for 10 years because of my toxic work environment vanished in the first 2 weeks. And, you know, as a side benefit, I also lost 10 pounds of body fat and no lean muscle. And because of my results, and because I desperately wanted and, of course, needed to make money at that time, after seeing the marketing plan, I also chose to become a supervisor with the company. Now, I have to be honest, that decision actually brought with it a couple of serious challenges. The first one was that I didn't have the money to purchase the inventory that I needed to start my business. And so I was forced to use OPM, of course, other people's money. And at that time, the only company that would give me that kind of money was that little company out of New York. Many of you have probably heard of them, called American Express. And, you know, back then, the only way you could work with those guys is if you paid them off in 30 days. It wasn't like a regular, you know, credit card. And so what happened was I did it, and the boxes showed up. I was really scared. But I got to tell you something. All I did was follow exactly what my mentors told me to do. And in that first 10 days, it was absolutely amazing. Not only was I able to move the entire supervisor inventory, I was able to pay back American Express, and on top of that, I put an extra $1,000 in my pocket. And honestly, I thought it was a miracle. And because I took that bold step, the first calendar month, I made an extra $4,000. That first calendar year, an extra $67,000. And then, of course, now it's amazing because Herbalife, 12 years later, they pay my wife and I more every month than most Americans make in a year. So it truly was the best business decision that we ever made. And now I want you to hear from somebody all the way up in Northern California. Carolyn, are you there?
Yes, I am. Well, Christopher, I have to say it truly has been an amazing journey for us as well. Going from bankruptcy before we found Herbalife to earning a six-figure income in a very short time with Herbalife. An opportunity not only to design, but live the lifestyle that we want for ourselves and our family. So I am forever grateful. And let me begin by sharing with you a little bit about what happened with my husband and I with this incredible company and also what's going on with our business today, so you can get a glimpse of what can happen for you as well. If you're willing to learn what to do, willing to work, and have that burning desire to change your life, because, honestly, that is really all that I had to bring to the table when we first found Herbalife over 12 years ago. And, my background was in the sales auditing in the airline and retail industry. When I got married, I joined my husband in his jewelry business, wholesaling pearls and diamonds. And unfortunately, due to the down economy at the time, we found ourselves working really hard, yet falling months and months and months behind our bills. We were forced to file bankruptcy. We lost our home, our cars, everything we worked so hard to build was gone. And, I had heard someone say the definition of insanity was doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting different results. So I knew I got to do something different. So I began searching for a way to rebuild our finances, and a business associate of ours actually introduced us to this company. I saw a video with people, all different backgrounds, experiencing results with the products and the opportunity, and I thought, why not me? So I got started right away. Then my mentor shared with me about the marketing plan, just like you saw. I was so excited to see that I actually have a choice of earning 25% or 50% for doing the same thing. And since I really needed to make money and make that fast, I definitely wanted to make the most amount of profit for my time and effort. So for me, being in the accounting background, it was no-brainer for me that the supervisor position was the best way to get started. But you know what? I had a few challenges as well. I had a husband that was very skeptical, who thought I was crazy, did not want anything to do with the business, and I had no confidence in myself to build this business by myself. Plus, I had no credit cards. But when the why is strong enough, the how is easy. I ended up borrowing a credit card from a friend. I actually gave her my wedding ring as a collateral and told her I would pay her back in 30 days. Even though I was scared, I have to be honest with you, I was more scared of not making the change and be in the same or worse financial position 6 months, a year, 5 years down the road. So I decided to take a chance on myself with this proven system and the company. So I decided to go for it and got to the supervisor the traditional way with that 4,000 volume point order. And I began to work with my mentor, plugging into the training and support structure, taking action on my plan, and it was amazing. My first week working part-time, really just learning what to do, I earned $1,000 profit. I was so excited. In 3 weeks, I moved my entire supervisor order, paid my friend back, and my first month as a result of earning from all the avenues of income as a supervisor, my income first month jumped to $5,500 part-time. And first calendar year with the company, my total income was $117,000. And I qualified for an all-expenses paid vacation with Herbalife, and I brought my skeptical husband with me. And that year, he decided to join me in the business, and we went full-time time, and our second-year income grew to $234,000. And, we got to the position that you saw in the marketing plan called the President's Team. We have been able to travel the world with our family, going from the beaches of Hawaii to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia and to the castles of France, all thanks to the incredible team of mentors, the step-by-step training, products, and opportunity. It really has been a dream come true for us, our future in our own hands. We get to do what we want to do, when we want to do them, truly designing and living an incredible life. And, I have somebody, also an incredible guy, on the phone who's going to have an opportunity to share with you what has happened to him and his wife. So, JR, are you out there?
I am, Carolyn. Thank you. Wow, what some incredible stories you all have. I wish I could say I was a little bit more positive than you all were when you guys got started in the business. I actually came in, so you all know, as a skeptical spouse, and not just in a small sense, but in a very large sense. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I was a 15. Okay, so I feel fortunate. My wife still loves me for being so difficult during that process. But when she found this business, she was traveling and looking for a way to stay home with our 2-year-old, who was in 60 hours of daycare. And I will have to tell you, that's awful. Someone else is raising your child. So she's the one that found this business, and I was working construction for 20 years and killing myself doing that. And of course, I didn't see any way out. She saw the vision. She had the foresight really to tell that this was the real deal. I was so skeptical, much like a policeman would be. I didn't believe anything like this would ever work. And she got started, I'll tell you guys, she got started, and she did get started at the supervisor position. And I think like Andrea, husband was Dan, and I thought she was absolutely double crazy because she used literally 3 credit cards to get started. Listen, we were strapped, broken, and we had no way to finance this thing. And she used 3 credit cards, told me we were going to get rich, and I was like, oh my gosh, not one of these things. So I'll have to say she got started. But what happened, guys, is that if she hadn't got started at that position, you know what? We wouldn't be where we're at today, 8 years later. She got started. She made an extra $1,500 in her very first month part-time. And she would have never done that if she hadn't gotten to the supervisor position. And literally within 5 months, she was hitting $5,000 a month. And within 14 months, guys, she was making $9,500 a month. So we were at a 6-figure income. And boy, I can tell you, my skepticism went away really fast. And I truly saw what was possible with Herbalife. And she continued on, and I got out of construction the 14th month in the business. Definitely we've been making a 6-figure income ever since, and it's just been absolutely unbelievable. The choices you have is incredible with this company. And so just know, if you got a skeptical spouse, or you are the skeptical spouse, listen, have a vision that is beyond yours. Okay, your mentor is going to give you their vision, and you absolutely will see why it's possible for you and why it is so important to start at the fastest, best position, which is going to be the supervisor position. So, and again, the products were amazing. I lost 25 pounds in 2.5 months. You've kept it off for 8 years. So the products work, the business work, if you're willing to work. Okay, and you get yourself positioned at the right spot, which is the supervisor position. So I just congratulate you all for making that bold step. And Andrew, I'm going to pass it back off to you and help these people get started.
Sounds great. And wow, amazing. So I got to say that just in closing, we want to again welcome you to the team. Just remember why you're here and what you want. Oftentimes we can't help but focus on where we are, and sometimes where we are is not where we want to be, and we make decisions based on that. And one of the best tips that I got from my mentor at the beginning of my business is he said, Andrea, you want to make a decision today, not based on what your circumstances are today, but what you want your circumstances to be in the future, what you want your future to be. He said, so unless you want to wake up with the same life and the same problems and the same bills and the same challenges, he said, you're going to have to do something different than you've done before. And that made so much sense to me, which is why I felt so encouraged to take that bold step and secure the position that was going to allow me to make the most amount of time in the shortest period of time possible. And so I encourage you to look at your reasons for why you got started and look into your future and ask yourself the same question. If I stay and continue to do the same thing, will everything be the same or will it change for me? Or do I need to do something different so that things can change? And if the answer is yes, I got to do something different so things can change like it was for me, then just know this. We promise that we're going to take you gently by the hand, step by step, and we're going to help you and show you and teach you and work closely with you so that you can absolutely move your inventory, turn that inventory into profit, put money in your pocket, and completely change your life. So with that said, we want to just congratulate you and welcome you to the team again. Thanks for your time. You're going to get back on the phone with your coach as they help you take the next step and continue to build your business. Bye for now.
Okay, wow, was that incredible or what? So, you guys, as you can hear, people from all walks of life, all different circumstances, have been able to make it because they were willing to take a few bold steps towards a more compelling future. So, here's what we want you to know. Number one is we want you to revisit your goals. Why is it that you came here? Why did you start this business? What is it you're looking for? Now you might even have a little vision, and these whys, these dreams, these goals, these desires, these are the fuel for your rocket ship. This is the fuel for your rocket to a new life, okay? So first, revisit those. Maybe even think about them a little bit harder than you did initially. Number two, let your mentor know which way you want to get to the supervisor position. Is it the first way, the second way, the third way, the fourth way, or the fifth way? Okay? Just let them know. And then call them back right now. Call them right now. Confirm your appointment with them to go over these materials and let them guide you. Let them help you achieve the life that you not only desire, that you deserve for yourself, your family, and your future. So I just really want to thank you all for being so diligent, so attentive in listening to this presentation. We just wish you all the very best that life has to offer. And you guys, here's what one of my mentors shared with me. He said, life favors the bold. Success favors the bold. So be bold. Take those few steps, go out there, chase your dreams with passion, and dare to make your life magnificent. Bye-bye for now.